Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you here. My main man, Tyrone A. Johnson, here as well. We're having a little conversation before the show today that's going to now leak into the airwaves, and that is that Tyrone Johnson, rightfully so, is very mad at his grandfather. I'm very mad at my grandfather. Ethan downstairs is very mad at his grandfather. And frankly, Tyrone, it's all their faults. Now, I know that's the greatest generation. I know the sacrifices many of those men and women made to our great way of life, but they also screwed us. They sure did, Tyrone. I'm glad you agree. Good morning. How you doing, pal?
Well, good morning.
Yeah, your grandfather's fault first, by the way.
Absolutely not.
100%.
My grandfather's
Your grandfather
fault
caused
first.
this problem, and now we're living in it. And frankly, so did mine. And we got to own it.
Okay.
Because I'm watching some of these World Baseball Classic prelim games.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like the Dominican against the Tigers.
Yeah.
You know, like Puerto Rico against the White Sox, whatever it might be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And, man, I see like 45,000 people. I think it was at Santo Domingo, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Playing against the Detroit Tigers. I don't know the name of the town or the stadium, but I know this. 45,000 people having a good-ass time. Cheering, playing the maracas, playing the tambourines, the skin flute, the trumpets. Man, the vuvuzelas. And I'm saying to myself, how come when we as Americans, black or white, don't matter to me, go to a baseball game, we sit on our asses for 90% of that game? We only get up to go to the bathroom and get some sausage, peppers, and onions, and we do not have a good time. And I'm trying to figure out for the last week now why many of these Latin American countries and their fan bases have turned a meaningless exhibition game, because the tournament didn't start at the time I'm watching these videos over the last couple of days. And I'm saying to myself, you would think these people are celebrating with the world coming to an end tomorrow, and this is their last chance to have a good time. And then it dawned on me, it ain't my fault. It's not your fault. We're boring at baseball games, but it's not our fault. It's our grandfather's fault.
Now,
I'll tell you why.
Now, hold on. Just for the record,
Do what you gotta do.
blames me for this.
Blaming your grandfather, not you.
Are you sure my grandfather was allowed to go to Major League Baseball
that's
games?
right. That's right.
Are we sure?
Your grandfather was sitting there row 123.
No,
that's right.
123.
123.
We get that money
Bought
from.
a ticket for $1.50. Took his beautiful wife and maybe some kids.
A top hat.
Out to the ball game.
A top hat back then and all that.
It's funny you mentioned top hat.
Yeah.
So I went back and I started looking at photographs and old videos of the way Americans, black, white, everything in between, how we dressed when we used to go to baseball games. And I'm sure you've seen these photographs and videos as well.
Overcoat.
Yeah, going to a baseball game used to be like going to church.
Yep.
You would get dressed up for it.
Yep.
Men would put on three-piece suits.
Yep.
They'd rock a fedora, right?
Yeah.
Women would put on their finest Sunday dresses.
Yes.
And I'm looking at it, I'm saying to myself, it's your fault. It's their fault. Because when you watch this crazy exhibition game, and look, I'm not a WBC guy. Outside of watching the fans have a great time, the Americans, I know the favorites to win it, but I don't feel like the juice I felt when we were the underdogs to win Olympic gold, obviously, for the men and women in hockey. And then it dawned on me, we've been bamboozled by our grandparents because they thought that baseball should be treated like a job as a fan.
Yeah.
Or like getting dressed up for Sunday church, which a lot of people did. Church in the morning,
Yep.
baseball in the afternoon.
Yep.
It has ruined the sport for Americans like me and you. Because if you watch that, I think it was the Dominican team. I could be wrong on that.
It was.
Against Detroit.
They got lights going.
Dude.
They're doing flips. They're doing everything. They're having a great time.
Like from first pitch to last pitch.
Right.
The fans in that stadium, it's like the greatest sporting event of all time.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
Yep.
They're cheering. By the way, the players who are not being paid to play, they're having a great time.
They love it.
And I'm watching it going, what the F am I missing out on? That when I go to a baseball game and you and I go to a baseball game together, we spend 90% of that game sitting on our asses, just kind of watching, hoping that Aaron Judge or Bryce Harper hits a home run, or maybe a guy's a leadoff double. And with that, we're like, yeah, leadoff double. Nice job, Bryce.
Yeah.
Way to get him, kid. And then you watch the Dominican fans in a meaningless exhibition against the Detroit Tigers and pitch one's an outside ball. Woo! Yeah! 1-0! And I'm saying they got tambourines and they got fresh fruit and they got, stuff happening, man.
Fresh fruit. Yeah.
Fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm stuck on the major digging. You want some, you need some melon? You need some strawberries? I'm like, yeah, baby, I do, as a matter of fact. Yeah. With that special Dominican spice on top.
It's the only mango I eat is off those trucks.
That's right.
I don't want mango from the store.
Not trucks. I got like the gal who might be homeless on the side of the highway. Pushing a cart with papaya in it.
It's very good papaya.
And mango in it.
Succulent.
In a plastic cup.
That's right.
With some special orange spice on top.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I want to say to the Dominican people, to the Latin American people out there, thank you for showing us again, as you do every 3 years with the WBC, that baseball should and can be very entertaining and a lot of fun to attend. Now, I'm just not sure how to take the Latin American experience and make it an American experience for black guys and white guys.
Well,
we're missing out, Tyrone.
We are missing out.
Like, baseball's boring. We all know that. I happen to love baseball.
I love baseball.
You love baseball.
Love baseball.
Baseball can be inherently boring at times.
Still my favorite sport to attend.
I respect that.
To attend is my favorite sport to attend.
Because it's a good 3 hours outside, have a couple pops, the whole thing,
Love it.
But you don't have fun.
I do.
I've been to a game with you. This is Tyrone. Here's my impersonation, all right? I don't do a lot of impersonations, but here's my impersonation of Tyrone A. Johnson at a Phillies-Mets game that we went to a few years ago.
That's true.
Okay?
This is true.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Tyrone Johnson at a Phillies game that the Phillies are winning. No. That's a pretty good impersonation.
It wasn't that far
of
off.
you.
Because baseball is a marathon. You can't go crazy. But it does speak to something, a larger thing where there's
we suck.
Yeah, and it's a certain amount of people where we're allergic to fun, and it needs to stop in all seriousness. Obviously, Craig's making a joke that people getting all mad and taking it personally, but in general, your overarching point is correct.
Yeah.
We're not great at having fun, and at the end of the day, sports are supposed to be fun.
Yes.
They are. They're supposed to be fun.
It's entertainment.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so I was trying to think, coming in this morning, walking in the rain, after last night's charity event that we all participated in for St. Jude's, and I'm thinking to myself, I've never seen an American crowd outside of bottom of the ninth, a rally, come from behind victory, that kind of stuff. We're in the moment. Crowds do go crazy, right? Mm-hmm. We saw that actually in this very competitive World Series last year. Dodgers and Blue Jays, the crowd got into it.
Excellent.
But, and it's kind of a standalone event. World Series, competitive game, crowds are totally into it. So, obviously, I do think the World Series kind of captured that, both for the games in Toronto and the games in LA, because that was a great World Series, a great postseason.
Yep.
But I'm watching this game and I'm saying to myself, I'm trying to figure out now what professional sporting event, because I do think college has more of it because the fans are younger,
yes,
less mature, all that kind of stuff, and probably drunker and more stoned. But I'm trying to figure out, when's the last time you went to a sporting event? Now I'm using baseball as my example, but pick anyone you want, where from the minute you walked in to the minute you left, you were engaged and entertained and wanted to get out of your seat and participate like you were at a Metallica concert.
If I have to be honest with you, if I take playoffs away, it's been a long time. It's been a long time where I just had just full have fun, full go like the majority of the Latin fans are having.
Dude, they know how to have fun.
Yeah, they do.
It's like the last time I had that much fun was probably Lil Wayne's concert at Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
I walked into the Garden, DJ, pom, 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 right? An hour later, L-Dub takes the stage. 20 minutes in, LL Cool J takes the stage. Sports isn't giving me that right now, and I blame your grandfather.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. People like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number one in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
I have my own account. I don't need to have any. He didn't say any of that. So I'm of the belief that if someone accuses you of something and you don't deny it, there's a reason you didn't deny it. Because you kind of feel like they got me. And yes, I'm not going to tell you I did it, but I did it.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, and with the Clippers, Craig, it feels like Kawhi is on an island. We saw him ball out in the All-Star game the other day. Kawhi was very impressive, and he's had a fantastic season. I think when you look at the Clippers, if the Clippers' record was better, but he's still at James Harden, you would be talking about Kawhi as an MVP candidate. He's been one of the best players in the league in terms of how he's been playing. He's been fantastic.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
for some technical difficulties, but good job downstairs. Got us right back on the air. Good morning to you. Happy to have you here, of course. As we move on, I was just thinking, football-wise, Tyrone, that there's an announcement made yesterday that your guy, one of your favorite quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers, I just announced yesterday that he's in no rush to make a decision as to whether or not he's going to retire or continue to play. And it dawned on me, for all the crap I give LeBron James, because he's going to do the same exact thing this offseason, which I guess is his right to do. It's Aaron's right to do it. I think Aaron Rodgers is now the LeBron James of the NFL. He's insufferable. Right? For a guy that many think is the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the game, who only has the one Super Bowl ring, and is more annoying than anything else and distracting and a lousy teammate and all the things that come along with it, I've decided that for all the grief I give LeBron James, I got to start giving it to Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers has got to be the most narcissistic, egotistical, self-important football player in the history of the NFL. And a lot of times we spend on shows like this where we're talking about, the high-maintenance wide receiver. Like, A.J. Brown. Man, I wouldn't want A.J. Brown in my locker room. A.J. Brown's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. And yes, he does come with baggage. None of it, off the field nonsense where he's getting in trouble or doing stupid stuff. He's just a high maintenance guy, and a lot of wide receivers are. But you ever notice how A.J. Brown takes a lot of flack publicly, and Aaron Rodgers typically takes none from the media especially? Like they curry favor to him. And this is not a conversation about his greatness as a player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The number gets retired in Green Bay, and all the things that come along with it, he has earned and is well-deserved. A great football player. But I do not want to spend the next 3 months of my life as a sports commentator with a daily update of, and today, Aaron Rodgers farted after eating Chinese food, and tomorrow he's going to B-dubs for some wings, and he's not yet made up his mind. Is he coming back or not? Well, I haven't heard a single team that said they want him. Now, Pittsburgh could bring him back, obviously.
Could.
New head coach there. Minnesota, I think, has a need for a veteran quarterback like that because of the disaster after letting Sam Darnold go. But I'm saying to myself, do I really care anymore? The most interesting he said in an interview he did online yesterday was that his number one goal in life right now, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, is that he stays sexy enough that his wife wants to F him every time she sees him. And that's his words, not mine. All right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, I hope she wants to sleep with you. She's your wife. But do I care if she wants to sleep with you? Not really.
Right. And every time she sees you, that's a bit much.
Well, he's a newlywed.
Yeah, that's not going to stay like that
Give
forever.
that 6 months, and I promise you,
cut it out, buddy.
While you hope to have sex every day if you can, you're going to come home from work one day, and she's not going to be in the mood because you left the toilet seat up.
The toilet seat. The toilet seat up.
The toilet seat up. Yeah. And you didn't put your laundry in the laundry basket.
He also needs to remember the last time he won anything was 2010. It's been a long time since he's been a winner in this league.
So Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, yes. Insufferable prick, yes. worth the hassle now?
No.
Probably not.
No.
More coming up after this. Yeah.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Well, I ended up adding this since our show started here, Rohit, but his points prop tonight at 20.5 is the same number from the Iowa State game. That's a bit of a mistake, right? When we consider the gap in opponents here. I think Peterson specifically steps up. He needs to. I think he kind of owes this team a great performance.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I know that Florida lost at home to Auburn, and it's a real thing that happened. So you can't strike it from the record. But if you did, I think Florida's looked like the best team in college basketball for about 2 months. And I think there are a bunch of results that suggest that.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. I've got some video I want to show you. I know a lot of people over the years, Tyrone, have called into shows like this and commented online and had town hall meetings about whether or not wrestling is real or fake.
That's right.
All right, we can finally show you evidence that wrestling is actually real.
Yeah.
Because if it's not real, I want you to explain to me this video, which has gone viral now, the greatest move in wrestling history right here. An Italian wrestler. Mm-hmm. He's got the pizza dough and pow.
Oh.
That's right.
A hell of a throw.
Takes him right out. Yeah, down for the count.
Look, he gets his spin, gets that that force going, and
pow! Down he goes.
It right at him.
Dough. I thought the dough hit him in the belly first. That's dough to the face.
Yeah,
is what that is. One more time. You got it. Bow!
Hit him like in the neck. The chin and neck area.
Yeah, took him right out. Now, here's the question for you. When they pick that dough up and they put some marinara on it and they put some mozzarella on it, you eating it?
Well, I mean, the oven's very hot.
Huh?
So, yeah,
you got to eat that pizza.
You got to eat that pizza.
Yeah.
You can't waste
That's
it.
got to be the best finishing move, I think, in wrestling history right there.
Although, is it a no DQ match? That's a foreign object.
No, but that's the guy's signature card.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be allowed if that is a sanctioned match.
Yeah, that was
everyone
sanctioned,
knows
all right.
that a foreign object that should be a DQ.
So you're telling me when a guy brings a folding chair into the ring and he uses it,
that's a DQ.
That's an automatic DQ.
Unless
what if the ref don't see it?
It was the ref, right? But he's spinning it. The ref saw it right in front of the ref.
Maybe the ref, you see in those movies, I'm hypnotizing you.
Oh.
You're getting sleepy.
Well, if the ref doesn't see it.
I just think it's pretty awesome the dough control the guy's got.
Clearly, that guy has worked at a pizza shop for real.
No, he's a real pizza man.
Yeah, that's not fake like some of these guys out there try to fake it. He can really make the dough.
And he moonlights as a wrestler.
Yeah,
that's how he pays the bills.
It's going to be the other way around soon. He's clearly going to sign a WWE contract.
That reminds me, you ever see that, you know that viral commercial of the two Papa John's kids who were spinning doughs and whatnot?
Yeah.
It turns out they're actual Papa John's or Domino's, I forget which company it was. They were actually employees. And when they went to work, they just put on their phones just because they're bored. Mm-hmm. So they started spinning doughs and whatnot. It went viral.
Yeah.
And then the pizza place was like, all of a sudden, there's a line out the door for our pizzas because you guys are making videos spinning dough.
Now look at that. Now you know.
That's real.
Papa John's did do a campaign with me.
No, they did not.
Pizza. It's online.
Papa John's?
Yeah, they had some trouble.
Yeah.
So they called me.
They needed a black guy.
Yeah. And I accepted the money.
By the way, they did need a black guy after what John said.
Yeah. Shaq had bought a bunch of the chains.
Yeah.
And then they called upon me.
There you go.
To make pizza. And it's online.
They're like, we need a black guy in the media. Stephen A's busy. Tyrone,
you want to make some pizza? I said, how much money you got?
You said yes no matter what. It could have been a nickel.
No,
right?
I need a couple.
Did you get free pizza?
Yeah.
And money?
Yeah.
Man, I would have done it just for the pizza, I think.
No, I took the money. It was great.
Yeah.
We did a whole campaign.
Yeah, Papa John, the guy that actually invented Papa John's, when the company went public, he answered to a board of directors.
Yeah.
And he was on what he thought was a private conference call that it was not that private.
Yeah.
And there were, I guess, board members or people that were on the call that he was unaware were on the call. And he dropped the N-bomb a few times on that call.
Yeah.
And what was crazy about it, which is obviously it's objectionable, yeah, how dare you say that, and you can't be, the excuse cannot be, I didn't know anybody else was listening.
Oh, hey, Tyrone, you're on this call. That's on me, buddy.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Take it back. I didn't even say it.
I didn't mean if I didn't know you were on the call.
And the board of directors said, we're taking your company from you. Now, he has a bunch of stock and he's a wealthy guy.
He's just no longer the face.
Yes, he's no longer the face of Papa John's. Now, I think they might have even forced him to sell stock because they might have had a controlling interest in the stock. But long story short, there's another great story about Papa John's also. So before he got fired from his own company, he wanted to expand big time in the Dallas market. So he went to Jerry Jones. And he said to Jerry that he wanted to become the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys. And he offered Jerry exclusive franchise rights for like all of Dallas and surrounding areas, like hundreds of, I think, of Papa John's.
That makes sense.
To the point where it was an afterthought to Jerry Jones. He didn't even think about it. He just knew that they were going to write him a check to be the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys because of the gravitas that has in Texas, right? And the side part of the deal was that Jerry Jones had exclusive ownership of a large territory for Papa John's. He never once stepped foot in a single Papa John's. And every year, he gets a check for $10 million.
$10 million.
$10 million a year for a business he doesn't even know that he owns.
Wow.
That's that type of scenario.
That's pretty good.
And Papa John's offered that to him because Papa John's just wanted to be the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys. Win-win for everybody.
Everybody wins.
But can you imagine having a business you know nothing about, you've never walked inside of it, and you get an annuity of $10 million a year?
I mean, see, the
rich people.
The rich stay rich.
That's exactly right. So I just thought it was an interesting story. We got some football coming up. Wide receivers are in play right now.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. People like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number one in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
I have my own account. I don't need to have any. He didn't say any of that. So I'm of the belief that if someone accuses you of something and you don't deny it, there's a reason you didn't deny it. Because you kind of feel like they got me. And yes, I'm not going to tell you I did it, but I did it.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, and with the Clippers, Craig, it feels like Kawhi is on an island. We saw him ball out in the All-Star game the other day. Kawhi was very impressive, and he's had a fantastic season. I think when you look at the Clippers, if the Clippers' record was better, but he's still James Harden, you would be talking about Kawhi as an MVP candidate. He's been one of the best players in the league in terms of how he's been playing. He's been fantastic.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. So Stefon Diggs is going to be a free agent. New England Patriots are letting him go after one season. He had a 3-year deal of about $66 million. His 2026 cap hit was going to be $26.5 million. And they decided, like the Houston Texans before them, like the Buffalo Bills before them, and the Minnesota Vikings before them, that Stefon Diggs is such a pain in the ass that despite his amazing talent, they are going to walk away from a deal for him to be their number one wide receiver.
I wonder if this is related to the off-field issues, because apparently he was a good soldier this season for them in the locker room, but we heard about the allegations off the field.
So
I wonder.
his private chef accused him of
assault,
of a physical assault, not sexual assault.
Yeah, physical assault
and not paying her.
Yep.
Right. Then you have the Cardi B nonsense, which is their business. But yeah, I remember.
But it's happening at the Super Bowl.
Like, don't forget the Buffalo Bills, when they said goodbye to him before he went to Houston for that year, the Bills had like $32 million against the salary cap. So for them, think about it.
Yeah.
For a team that's desperate for a number one level wide receiver for Josh Allen, he was such a pain in the ass, apparently, well documented in Buffalo, that they ate $32 million, got nothing in return for him just to get him out of the facility. Like, that's a special kind of douchery, don't you think?
Absolutely. Houston, I can almost excuse because he got hurt immediately.
Yes, he got hurt pretty quick. The ACL, right?
Yeah, ACL almost immediately. But it says something, and it's just you always have to question when players can't stick anywhere. It's not everybody else. It's got to be him.
Yeah, now the Patriots, look, to be fair to New England, they save about $16 million under the cap.
Yeah.
So they had to make a decision. Do we bring back our best wide receiver? And it's not even questionable that Stefon Diggs is their best wide receiver. True with the Mac Hollins nonsense, all right?
Yeah, he's definitely their best.
He's their best wide receiver. Yeah. And by the way, had a great year for a second-year quarterback in Drake May, who we learned in the playoffs is not a very good quarterback. Stefon Diggs did him a solid all year long. But at $20 million or a $15 million to $16 million cap hit, for a wide receiver at that talent level, that's not a bad deal.
No, it's not.
Like, A.J. Brown makes almost double that. And I know he's younger and all that. But I'm like, could you imagine being so good at something and such a bad guy that a team that is desperate for your services, and not just one team, multiple teams where you are their best wide receiver, are willing to walk away from your talent because of how much of a douche you are? That doesn't happen that often in pro sports.
Not often, but when it does happen, like Brandon Cooks, for example, had 1,000 yards 3 straight years.
For the Saints, right?
3 different teams at one point. Yeah. It happens with wide receivers more than any other position.
But, like, they need him. Like, if you're a Patriot fan, and I know, look, he comes with baggage, but who are you replacing Stefon Diggs with? Because the Bills are still trying to answer that 2 years later.
Well, allegedly.
The Texans could have used him back.
Absolutely.
Right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
They're in on Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is 40 years old.
I am telling you.
I know he's a great player.
Allegedly, they're in on Mike Evans.
That makes no sense to me. Why would you go from a younger, better player to an older player on his last legs, playing what's probably going to be his last season in the NFL? No disrespect to Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer and has had a great career. And I wish he would finish out in Tampa. He's obviously not going to if they're talking to other teams. But, man, I remember when Stefon Diggs played for Minnesota. And NFL Films or some show like that did one of those cute little let's ask the players non-football questions, right? And the question they asked a dozen or so guys on the Vikings is, who's the one teammate you would never let your sister date?
Oh, yeah.
All right? Every single guy, without any hesitation, said Stefon Diggs. That dude's a dog in a bad way, not a good way.
Yeah.
That I would not allow my sister to date that guy. So he forces his way out of Minnesota, has great success in Buffalo, right?
Yep.
Josh Allen, number one favorite target, rightfully so. They have no other wide receivers. They're like, man, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. We're going to get rid of this guy. Bang. Goes to Houston. Obviously tears the ACL. Was having a good season prior to that. They decide, we're not bringing you back. He decides, let me become a free agent, etc. Goes to New England. Has a magical run to the Super Bowl. Makes a bad or average second-year quarterback look like the MVP. And New England says no? That's a different level of douchery that you ordinarily don't get, even with wide receivers.
Yes.
That's like some Warren Sapp douchery right there.
Yeah, the closest I can get to. There's only one other example.
What?
Brandon Cooks, like I said, he gets 1,100 yards with New England. They say, with the Saints, they say goodbye. He gets it with New England. They say goodbye. He got it with the Rams the following year. So productive, but 3 different teams said, I'm good.
Yeah, like 1 year's enough of you.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I
Very
don't
rare.
get that. Like, and in a world where sports is all about production. And we close our eyes and we cover our ears when guys do stupid stuff if they are productive. This is the one guy that kind of belies that. This is the one guy the team's like, man, he's got all-world talent. But, man, when do I have to deal with the phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning that my star wide receiver might be snorting pink substances on a boat with a bunch of hoes?
Yeah.
None of those hoes being his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Instagram hoes. I'm going to tell you this. The downfall of the modern American athlete.
Yep.
It ain't drugs.
No.
It ain't gambling.
No.
It ain't money. It's Instagram skanks.
It absolutely
that is the downfall of the American athlete today. Now, it kind of evolves, right? It was drugs for a period of time.
It was.
It was normal women for a period of time. Of course, money brings out the worst in people. But ain't nothing as bad as an Instagram skank, and a specific type of skank there, Tyrone, that you have no experience with. I, on the other hand, have lived a different life than you. The Instagram skank that's willing to get on a plane at 1 o'clock in the morning and fly from Atlanta to Houston to give you a massage.
Okay.
That's the devil incarnate right there.
So now I got to ask you.
Yes.
This is a newer phenomenon, these
Yes,
women.
it is.
Okay, these particular ones
which
you're
is why
talking
I've
about.
always said the best massage I ever got was from a Brazilian dwarf at the Bellagio.
You have
a man.
said that. You have said that.
Hector or Julio or something was his
Now,
name.
let me ask you about a
Yeah.
certain Hall of Fame New York athlete.
A Hall of Fame New York athlete.
And I'm going to put him time travel into today.
Go ahead.
And tell me if that player's still great.
Okay, so a Hall of Fame New York athlete that if he played today, same skill level like
Same
rock
skill
star,
level. Yes, this is a great player.
you would say, is he revered the way he is?
I'm asking, would he be revered, and would he still have the numbers that he had?
So there's one or two guys that come immediately to mind. Can I guess who you're thinking of?
Okay.
So the first guy is Joe Namath.
No, not thinking Joe, only because Joe's numbers weren't that great over in totality. That's fair. This is a greater player than him.
I'm assuming then it's a baseball player.
That is correct.
And I'm assuming it's a Yankee.
Yes, it is.
And I'm assuming he played outfield.
Yes, he did.
And I'm assuming his name might be Mickey Mantle.
That is right. That is right, sir. Drop Mickey Mantle into right now. How's he do?
If Mickey Mantle had to play today,
drinking the way he drank,
I would say that in a 7-year career, he would have had 3 of the greatest years of all time.
Okay.
Where we would say, wow, there goes Roy Hobbs, the best there ever was. But those other 4 years and the rehabs and the front page scandals and the baby mamas and the babies and the I swear it wasn't me's, Mickey Mantle might not be a Hall of Famer today.
And I gotta ask you about one more real fast.
Go ahead.
This is the guy you consider to be the GOAT.
MJ.
You drop Michael Jordan into 2026.
Yes. Michael Jordan in 2026.
With the gambling and the women.
Would still be the greatest basketball player of all time. And I think we'd probably have no one disagreeing with it. And I'll do you one better.
Get out of here.
If Michael Jordan played in this cell phone social media era and he retired just at the start of it, right? Or right around there, right? Okay? There's a good chance we wouldn't even know the name LeBron James.
Get out of here. So you go too far. You always take it too far.
Like LeBron James.
He's going to casinos after games still.
If Michael played the same exact era as LeBron James, we would think of LeBron James as, I don't know, Peyton Pritchard?
I know that Florida lost at home to Auburn, and it's a real thing that happened. So you can't strike it from the record. But if you did, I think Florida's looked like the best team in college basketball for about 2 months. And I think there are a bunch of results that suggest that.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too, and what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago? How much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. People like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number one in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Every now and then, real life is much better than fiction, Tyrone.
Yeah.
So I want to take you out to Bakersfield, California. Let's go George Michael Sports Machine. Beep. Bakersfield, California. Here we go.
All right.
The men's basketball program is in last place right now in the Big West Conference. So they're a non-factor when it comes to March Madness this year. But they're the number one story in college basketball as far as I'm concerned. So there's a guy named Kevin Mays. Kevin Mays was a former player at Cal State, and then he became a player development coordinator.
Okay.
And then he became an assistant coach. All right?
So this guy's coaching
So he went from
young
player
adults.
to coach.
Yeah, coaching young adults.
And by the way, that's how it should go. You're a player, not good enough to be pro, but you're one of their favorite players when you play there.
Yeah.
They give you your first job. You excel at that job. You advance to assistant coach, and then one day you become the head coach.
Yeah.
So I love that arc. Right? That's great. Now, I've never heard of Kevin Mays, to be honest with you.
Me neither.
But he's the assistant coach, he was at the time, to a guy named Rod Barnes, who was the head basketball coach here, okay?
Okay.
Unfortunately, Kevin Mays is now behind bars.
Oh.
Kevin Mays is no longer the assistant coach at Cal State. You might ask me, well, what did he do? Is it like a Sharon Moore situation where he was dating a secretary and, fell afoul of the law because he was stalking or that kind of stuff? That would not be the answer, Tyrone. No.
Did he unfortunately have a bad drug habit doing maybe cocaine?
No, yeho.
Okay.
No yeho, Manny.
Okay.
No. He's no longer the assistant coach because he had a side job.
Oh.
He was moonlighting.
So,
as you know, assistant coaches in the Big West Conference
they're not making
probably
big
aren't
money.
making but 30, 40 grand.
Yeah, California's expensive. So is he caught up in the Chauncey Billups thing?
No.
He has to go to
Great
court?
question.
Like, is he gambling? That was his side
And that's
thing?
the first thing I thought. Oh, it's another gambling scandal.
Yeah.
No, not a gambling scandal.
Because sports gambling is not legal in California.
Correct.
So that would get him in trouble.
It's also not legal for a coach to bet on college basketball in any state. But yes, fair point. Now, my man Kevin Mays, he had a side gig. He had a side hustle. And he had a side hustle not just in California.
What?
He had a side hustle in 4 different states.
4 different states.
That's exactly right. See, your guy, Kevin Mays, was moonlighting as a pimp.
As a what?
It's hard out here for a pimp.
I'm looking.
Yeah. He's a pimp, allegedly.
He's a pimp.
A pimp.
So
he was hustling.
Right, and you said 4 states, which means that
4 states.
That means the charges absolutely go down as human trafficking.
It means it's federal.
Yes, absolutely. That's
correct.
When you hear human traffic many times, that used to be called in the 90s pimping and pandering.
And pimping ain't easy.
Yeah, they don't call that anymore.
That's right.
Yeah,
so he's got 11 criminal and misdemeanor charges. The misdemeanors don't mean anything because you got felonies here.
Yeah.
And one of the felonies is, and their words, not mine, Tyrone, pimping. Pimping.
No, I see an article now.
Pimping.
All right.
Now, didn't we learn from Big Daddy Kane? Everybody knows when it comes to hoes, that pimping ain't easy.
People been saying it forever. That pimping ain't easy.
That's
he had
right.
a basketball coach think he was going to not get caught pimping.
Yeah. Now, his other problem is that I think you can get over on the pimping charges. I think you can get it past that, maybe plea deal your way out of that. The problem for Kevin Mays is that in addition to being a sideline pimp, he was also charged with possession of automatic firearms, high-capacity magazines, possession of meth, possession of weed with intent to sell. And the sad part of this, not a joke at all, but I do have to include it because it's part of it. I think he was also trafficking and dabbling in child pornography.
Oh, come on.
Which obviously changes this story from being kind of a fun one to talk about to not fun at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was distributing allegedly obscene matter involving someone allegedly under 18 years old. He has pleaded not guilty on all charges. His attorney, David Torres, did not comment when asked about the case. But yeah, like,
come on.
Yeah.
Like, and my issue with this is that, and you're absolutely right about the path. You're not good enough to make the pros. You get on the staff.
Yeah,
and
he was
things
doing
like
it the right way.
But he didn't recognize the responsibility, in his case, not only to young adults, but to children, apparently, according to the charges, that you have to then act like an adult.
Now, again, and I'm not sure the specificity on those charges, but I don't care either. If you're trafficking that, sharing it, if you have it on your phone, you should be dealt with promptly in prison. And guys like that do not do well in prison, because once they find out that you're what in prison they call them chomos, which are child molesters, that is swift justice.
Yeah.
So once he gets around the joint, that he has been found guilty, if he is, of that part of the crime, his life ends that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and that's not hyperbole. That dude, he will not be alive to see his next birthday.
Yeah, that's. And listen, if he's guilty, I'm not going to shed a tear for him.
No, nobody is.
Yes,
but
if he's guilty.
I want to go back to the pimp part if I can.
Yeah.
Because just a different type of conversation.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why he was so good at the first job they gave him, which was player development coordinator?
Yes.
Like, guys, you like blonde or brunette?
Right. Listen, guys, I need you guys to go to study hall. I need you guys to come to practice.
Yeah.
I know you want to chase. You don't have to chase. I got it covered.
Like, boy, they have the best attendance record of any team in the Big West.
Yeah, of course, guys. Hey, guys.
And they're also bad at basketball because their legs is always tired.
Yeah, I mean, too much. Didn't I tell you yesterday? Not on game day.
Yeah.
Not on game day.
Yes.
I mean, come on with the pimp. Like,
a four-state pimp.
To be a pimp
in
2026 is diabolically nasty work. To be pimping in 2026. You think you would have been a good pimp? I think I would have been a good pimp in the 90s.
You think so?
Yeah.
Would you have had a strong pimp hand?
Unfortunately, yes.
See, because I think that's what you need.
You have to. I would have grown my pinky nail
That's
long.
for coke, though, isn't it?
No, well, yes, but it's also, no. See, people think that. It's also for the backhand.
I thought the long pinky nail was for the yeho
it
up the
was,
schnoz.
but it's also, if you find a mini pimp, the backhand slap, and that's real.
Yeah.
That's where you make a mark without too bad of a mark.
Got it.
Because you don't want to do a close
We
fist.
obviously do not condone that behavior.
That's absolutely wrong. You asked me if I had
just
turned
asked
to
if
crime.
you would be a good pimp. That's
I
all.
think I would be great at it.
I would not be a good pimp.
I wouldn't have the feelings.
Yeah. I'd like to think I'd be a good pimp, but I wouldn't be a good pimp.
Be great.
Because I would want to sample the merchandise.
No. And I wouldn't be playing about my money.
It's also, I wouldn't be a good drug dealer. Like,
you want to try?
If you got that much drugs in the house,
you try a little bit.
What, am I not trying it?
But Biggie said you never get high on your own supply.
That's
you
right.
never get high on your own supply.
I don't think Biggie was the first to say that, but it still resonates.
Listen, in the final segment of the show, we have some NFL news. A big trade has been made.
Another big trade?
Another trade
as big as the McDuffie trade?
Not quite as big as that, but an
big.
important trade.
All right, NFL trade. Right after this, breaking news. Don't touch it. Carton Show, Tyrone Johnson as well.
Nick Kurtz will receive American League first place votes this year. You going to buy that, George? Or you want to sell that? I believe we had Caminero, we had Raleigh, we had Aaron Judge.
Bobby Witt, he'll be there as well. I'm a big fan of Kurtz. No, we're not related, by the way, for those who are wondering. Okay, not as far as I know. I keep getting that.
You're a little taller than him.
Right, just a wee bit. Yeah, Nick is a
Be like this,
I'm
actually.
not sure Nick would fill in his room. Yeah, that's something like that. But my only problem with him, I think he's gonna have a great year. All right, I think he's gonna have a very good year here. He's gonna be fantastic. I picked 12 in my points league. If he's there at 12, I'm taking him. I'm just grabbing him here. I don't have a second round pick, but I'm taking him anyway. My only issue is this: they're not gonna be very good, right? They may be a little better than expected. Maybe they approach 500, maybe. But it's tough to get MVP votes when you're not winning. All right, you're not in the playoff contention or anything like that. Are you going to be able to beat out an Aaron Judge? I'll buy. I think he's going to have a big season. I think he can get one. I don't think he'll be very, it won't be top 3 or anything. I think he can get one. Yes, I'll buy.
Yeah, I'm going to sell this. I was really I understand what the metrics said, and a lot of smart people, George, that I asked that Judge probably was the MVP. But man, Cal Raleigh couldn't win MVP with that season that he had last year. And I understand all we're doing is asking questions about first place votes, but don't think there's a lot of love for the voters with Sacramento, no matter what Nick Kurtz does. I'm going to sell this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. It is true, last night, despite having 17 points, 17 rebounds, and making 95% of his shots, Karl-Anthony Towns did not attempt a single three-point shot last night. And that's part of his game. Even though he's a big man, that's a part of his game. He also only took 8 shots.
That's not
7 of 8.
This is now a recurring thing, and that Nick's lost a good game.
And he fouled out.
This is a recurring thing, though, where he's not, in my opinion, getting enough attempts per game.
17 rebounds, the guy kept playing, and he shot great. And I'm going to say this more later this afternoon for sure. The referee screwed us. And I love SGA.
First
I
quarter.
Love SGA, but you got to call charge there at the end of the game against Jalen Brunson. You got to call charge. SGA barreled him over. He got an and one out of it. Should have been our rock and our game. And look, we had 2 shots at the end to tie or win it, and we missed both shots. But SGA is a foul merchant. And I can't have it.
That play didn't happen late. That happened early.
That was the last possession of the game. Cost us the game. In any event, we've got some breaking NFL news. Tyrone's got it.
Yes.
You said a big name wide receiver is being traded.
Yes.
So is it related to our conversation earlier about the Bills letting Stefon Diggs go?
Yes, indeed.
Give it to me.
Although it was New England this time, it was DJ Moore from the Bears to the Bills for a mid-round pick. We do not fully have all the information. Now, people might be wondering both sides of the trade. Why wasn't it more compensation if it's a mid-round pick? Why did the Bears part with him? The Bears think they can replace his production with the younger player already on the roster. And if you talk about the money, his cap hit this year with the Bills will be $24.5 million. His cap hit the next year, the following year, $24.5 million. It's basically a 4-year deal at $24.5 million per year. The Bears are able to shed that salary, and the Bills take it on, but that's why there's not more compensation.
So DJ goes to his 3rd team, started with Carolina, went to the Bears, is a really talented wide receiver. People have somehow questioned whether or not he likes Caleb Williams, and there's been some pouting on the field.
A lot of pouting.
There was also a play a year ago, you may remember, where Caleb Williams, in his rookie season, was scrambling all over the field, and DJ Moore walked off the field mid-play, literally sat down on the bench in the middle of the play where Caleb Williams is scrambling for his life, and that turned a lot of people off. He was also very frustrated a lot of times this past year with Caleb Williams, who didn't turn on the light until the 4th quarter in a lot of games.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of a guy 28 years old who's making a lot of money. Who's also not happy.
Right.
Right? I think it's a great deal for the Bills.
It is, but that's a lot of money to take on if he's not fully motivated.
But it's just a little bit more than what Diggs was going to make.
That's true, but you're talking about a guy who last year had 85 targets, only 50 receptions on 85 targets. That's always something to watch. It's going to be, and that's why the compensation isn't more. In a different world, DJ Moore gets more. As far as compensation.
And they're saying mid-level compensation?
Mid-round compensation.
So you're talking like a 4th-round pick?
Yeah,
It's interesting how they value these picks and whatever they grade they give to a pick. But I think DJ Moore, if you would ask me blindly, at 28 years old, what's DJ Moore worth? Late second, early third?
Okay. And maybe it ends up being a third-round pick.
Right.
Maybe. It's going to be interesting, though, to see if it's just the quarterback situation or does he not love football.
Yeah, now, I know a lot of people out there right now in New York are saying, why didn't the Giants go after him? And that's just because of the salary.
Yeah.
The Giants right now only have like $1 million under the cap.
Yeah.
They're about to make a bunch of moves that they think they can get to 30, 40, maybe $50 million under the cap by restructuring some deals and also cutting some guys. But he would have been perfect for the New York Giants. They just don't have cap space.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to do it.
And Wednesday, you got to be under the cap.
Right. Also, he's going back in another area of the trade. The last time he played under Joe Brady, who's now the head coach with the Bills, he had almost 1,200 yards, 18.1 yards per catch.
So Joe Brady likes him.
Yeah, really likes him as a deep threat. He should provide a different dynamic for the Bills.
If you're the Eagles, would you have said to the Chicago Bears, I'll give you A.J. Brown, you give me DJ Moore, and a second-round pick? Would you have done that as an Eagle fan?
Maybe. I have to see the dead money part of it. That's the tough part. There is some dead money attached to
I take the money out of it.
You take the money out of it?
Yeah, A.J. Brown for DJ Moore and a second-round pick from the Chicago Bears. So they upgrade a wide receiver.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown's better than DJ Moore. It gives Caleb Williams a legitimate threat all over the field. AJ's happy. He's now the go-to wide receiver. He doesn't have to share that with Devontae Smith like he does now.
Yeah.
Or Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And the Eagles get a second-round pick on top. It's moot because the deal's done.
Yeah.
But I always wonder, like, they said during the McDuffie trade between Kansas City and the Rams that the Giants were the other team involved.
Yeah.
And the Giants made a run at getting McDuffie because Spagnuolo is very close, apparently, with John Harbaugh.
Yeah, they're close.
And they try to get a deal done. But obviously the Rams offered more. But I'd love to know who else Chicago spoke to about trading DJ Moore. In any event, that's a great deal for the Buffalo Bills. You now have a legitimate wide receiver. Have a good day.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. People like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number one in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
I have my own account. I don't need to have any. He didn't say any of that. So I'm of the belief that if someone accuses you of something and you don't deny it, there's a reason you didn't deny it. Because you kind of feel like they got me. And yes, I'm not going to tell you I did it, but I did it.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, and with the Clippers, Craig, it feels like Kawhi is on an island. We saw him ball out in the All-Star game the other day. Kawhi was very impressive, and he's had a fantastic season. I think when you look at the Clippers, if the Clippers' record was better, but he's still at James Harden, you would be talking about Kawhi as an MVP candidate. He's been one of the best players in the league in terms of how he's been playing. He's been fantastic.
Newswire.